What's going on, guys? I'm back at it again in here for the video for you guys for today. In today's video, I'm back at it again in here for another topic video talking about Fandango and as well how I feel about WrestleMania 29 as a whole, but not giving my thoughts and opinions on the predictions and my preview. That will be saved for a later date, and as well giving my thoughts and opinions overall about the class of 2013 for the Hall of Fame this year, going for just before WrestleMania 29. And getting right into Fandango and overall thoughts and opinions, how I feel about him. As of right now, I do seem to think that as of right now that the Johnny Curtis gimmick wasn't really as good as this one. I think the Fandango gimmick is just a little bit more slightly better as the Johnny Curtis gimmick. That's just me and how I feel about him so far. I was lucky enough to even see him wrestle once at a SmackDown TV tapings that I went to not too long ago, which was just last year. That was the only time that I did get to see him as Fandango, so my opinions can change throughout the year too, of course, and we still haven't seen him on TV wrestle in an actual match, so as of right now, it looks to be he might be facing Chris Jericho at WrestleMania, which I think is fine. And what other way to go up against a guy like Chris Jericho? At least we got to see Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 29, and as well at the same time see Fandango wrestle in his first ever TV match. I think that would be pretty cool, and the match should be pretty entertaining, even though it's not really exactly the best match to be looking out for exactly, but it is what it is when it comes to that. And overall, with what he's been being able to do lately, and he's really good at just being able to get that heel heat and the way that it's being presented to him. And he's just basically coming out hoping that somebody will get his name right. And if they do, whoever they are, then we get to see a match out of Fandango, but we haven't been able to be so lucky, which fucking sucks. And I've been trying to be patient about it, but he really is doing a good job at being the heel, and that's basically his job, and trying to get under people's skins and actually being, in a way, more patient to himself on being able to have that proper match that we are going to be able to have out of him. So I actually have been liking this character, like I said. So nothing really too much against it at the moment. So uh, until we actually see an actual match, most likely, like I said, at WrestleMania, then I'll be able to see exactly what's going to be happening, and especially after his WrestleMania match, if that is confirmed, even though it's really not at this point in time. So anyway, that's how I feel about Fandango. Not too sure how you guys feel about Fandango. What would you like to see out of him? How do you feel about his gimmick now, or the Johnny Curtis gimmick? And how do you feel about both gimmicks and everything like that? And that about really is about how I feel about him overall as of right now under the Fandango gimmick. Now, as for the Hall of Fame for this year, I gotta say it is looking really badass. Besides Donald Trump being in for the celebrity ring for the Hall of Fame, never really cared about that all too much, but as for Bruno Sammartino being in there, Mick Foley, Trish Stratus, and now Booker T being at it, I think we really do have a really awesome Hall of Fame class. If I do say so myself, I would have loved to see the class of 2013 in person this year, but unfortunately I won't be going to WrestleMania, so I lucked out again this time around, but I will eventually get to go to my first ever WrestleMania, which is fine, and there'll always be that opportunity to go, so I'm not really that much worried about it, and I will still be watching anyway. And Booker T, that was really surprising as all hell to be able to see him in the Hall of Fame, even though he is the SmackDown General Manager. Have no problems against that whatsoever. I really enjoy Booker T, and he's definitely one of my favorites to have watched, especially when I was able to break into wrestling and be able to be a wrestling fan at the time around the invasion angle and all that, being able to see him there and just be able to really kick ass at what he does and be able to do work as a wrestler, basically. And I've really always enjoyed the feuds that he's been with. He's basically won every single championship WWE has given him and everything, so and as well, when it comes to him on commentary, I thought he was actually not that bad as a commentator, even though, he's kind of weird at it sometimes, but he made it in a funny way. And that's what's really all about going in for that anyway. So I really enjoyed him, no matter what he did in the WWE. And I think he really does deserve it as well with the rest of the people like Mick Foley a great legend and a guy that I really have enjoyed over the years, one of my favorites to watch as well. He definitely does deserve it. Same thing goes for Bob Backlund as well. Trish Stratus, would have loved to see her in person, but I never really got the chance to. So I'm sure she's one of the nicest people that you guys have met. I'm sure if you have met her, I'm not too sure if any one of you guys ever met one of those people that are going to be in the class of 2013, so I can't really say for myself, but I did actually meet Mick Foley not too long ago. I did get a signing with him, so he was really cool. I really enjoyed that, and he was also one of those cool people to meet as well, so if you haven't gotten the chance to, definitely go out and meet him. But, really having Trish Stratus in there was really touching to hear about as well. Very surprising in a way to me, as well, hearing about Booker T, so that was really fucking awesome. So it's definitely going to be well worth the watch. Hopefully we'll eventually get to see the Hall of Fame in its entirety on TV sometime, but I know we'll probably get an hour of it, and it's going to be definitely worth the pickup too for the WrestleMania 29 DVD. That I cannot wait for too, but of course, before we get into that, we got to get to WrestleMania first, so that is actually shaping to be really well for the actual Hall of Fame class. We'll probably get a few more people in. I'm not exactly too sure exactly, so we might have a few surprises going for us, so I want to actually keep it as a surprise as of right now. I'm still hoping really that we'll get the Macho Man in there at some point. We'll get guys like Paul Bearer in there and other Hall of Famers that are looking to be Hall of Famers in their own rights. So we'll have to see exactly, and time will tell. Just have to tune in, but really loving what's being presented to us for the class of 2013, and everyone in there does deserve it. So, that's all I gotta say about that overall. Now getting into the actual WrestleMania 29 match card, and as of right now, it is shaping up to be actually a really good show, and I'm really looking forward for it. I don't know how you guys might feel about it, but even though it is about rematches this year, rematches have been really enjoyable, even if they seem to be more predictable, so I'm still going to be able to check it out and to see what is really going to be going down for WrestleMania 29, and it's definitely one of my favorite pay-per-views, so of course, either way, I'll still be watching, and there are about mainly a few matches that I really want to see the most, especially the WWE Championship matchup, even though with this one, this isn't exactly everyone's favorite. I know we definitely got to see the year build and finally got to see that dream match happen last year. Now this time it's for the WWE Championship and it's about redemption. So there really isn't that much more these two can really do, even though I wanted to see The Rock this upcoming week, with this week anyway, with this past Monday, and to be able to see a promo out of him and John Cena. But of course, The Rock will be back next week, and as well the week after, and as well with WrestleMania 29, and probably after WrestleMania 29 exactly. So, I haven't really had far too much complaints about that, even though it would have been cool to see The Rock being able to actually wrestle at Raw and SmackDown, even though he's actually been doing a lot of promos there. So, I guess that's as good as it gets, and this has really been built up all the way up since January, since John Cena won the Royal Rumble, The Rock won the WWE Championship, and I'll talk definitely more about it too in my predictions video, and just a little bit more, even though I kind of touched bases on it and how I feel about the match overall, but it's still a match that I really would like to see, and something that I am actually still pumped up to actually want to be watching. It seems to be, it might be a one-for-one type of match, but I don't know, it's a little bit kind of hard to tell, even though it's a little bit predictable, but I'm sure these two can make it where it would be unpredictable and anything can really happen, but I'll touch more on that as I get into the predictions video later on. The World Heavyweight title match, I think that's really cool. To have this on WrestleMania 29 with Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger, and this one has been very controversial. We had Glenn Beck being able to be involved just a little bit, and I never really cared for that stupid hassle anyway to begin with, but, you know, I never really was a fan of him anyway, so the fact that he was able to take it so seriously and have more coverage go into that World Heavyweight Championship matchup was really interesting. So I was really happy that we weren't able to get to see him on TV anyway. He would have gotten booed out of the building. That's just me. So I never really wanted to see that to begin with. But, it is what it is. And overall, besides all that, I think that, this matchup should be fun and one that I am looking forward for. And of course, with The Undertaker and CM Punk, and this one just basically being built since the death of Paul Bearer and everything, and CM Punk having to earn and looking to really get the powers of The Undertaker and feeling more powerful than ever before in a way. This is going to be one hell of a match to really see, even though we've seen these two wrestle each other before, but never before at WrestleMania. It's going to be that much more fun and an exciting match to watch. And I still think that The Undertaker is still going to be undefeated. I don't think he should be defeated at WrestleMania. That's just me. I really enjoyed that having The Undertaker being able to wrestle at a WrestleMania for so long and to be defeated now. I don't know exactly how I would feel about it overall. But I think even with this type of matchup, it'll still be fun, and both guys will still look good. So always enjoy seeing a match from The Undertaker either way. So it's bound to be a fucking awesome match. Speaking of with the other match that I will be talking about, and speaking of fucking awesome, with Triple H and the Brock Lesnar rematch from SummerSlam. And now we get to see this under no holds barred, but with a little twist, and if Lesnar wins, Triple H must retire. And even though it seems just a little bit predictable with that match, in a way, I think it might be just a little bit, in a way, just kind of sort of unpredictable, but only time will tell. I think this is going to still be fun and one of my favorite matches to be looking out for, and something that I cannot wait for. Like I said, not really going to give my full-on predictions about it, but I think it will still be one of those fun matches that are the top matches to be checking out at WrestleMania 29. So No Holds Barred really adds a lot more into this match, and it adds more of that excitement and to be able to see what will happen between those two. So that's really cool. And as well with the Shield match that's going to be happening, the Shield that um, they were able to have their match at WrestleMania 29. This time, the Big Show is the replacement for Ryback. Originally, it was going to be Ryback with Sheamus and Orton, but now it's going to be, as of right now, so far for the most part, I'm pretty sure it's still going to be that confirmed that the Big Show will be that guy to be the replacement for Ryback, so that match should be still fun anyway to see the Shield at WrestleMania. So those are the main matches that I really want to see the most, and the rest I will talk about. We'll be talking about later on uh, within the next 2 weeks for my WrestleMania 29 predictions. I might have a few guests on there. I don't really know exactly just yet, or I'll just come on here again for another video just talking about it officially, giving my picks and predictions, how I feel about that. So that's about it. Let me know what you guys thoughts are on Fandango, and that's basically how I feel about him. Like I stated before, and just that little few thoughts and opinions on, me liking the Fandango gimmick just a little bit more, and how he's basically the dances with the stars type of guy. So that's really interesting, and actually really interesting to see what we are going to be seeing, and what else we can really be seeing out of him next. And about the Hall of Fame. What are you guys' thoughts on that? And as well with WrestleMania 29 as a whole, how do you feel about it? So that about does it for this long topic video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and give me your thoughts and opinions down there below. Follow me on Twitter, and that about does it for me. Also, I do have a shout out that I've been meaning to give out for a while, and he's definitely one of my good friends on here, and definitely one of my favorite guys to watch, and I think he's definitely underrated. You guys need to check him out, and that's my friend Kyle. Go check him out, go sub to him. He really makes a lot of great wrestling videos. He also talks about video games, he does game reviews, all that good stuff. So he doesn't really exactly talk about wrestling, but he does other stuff on his channel as well. So if you're into wrestling and video games and all that other stuff, and as well music, definitely go check him out. So that's my shout out to you, and definitely I will be back for my WrestleMania 29 predictions. Until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.